No, no, it's the daily vlog. I think it's number 12 now. I think maybe 13. I knew I'd lose count, so I can't believe I've done it for this long. Had myself a little break yesterday. Today I'll be doing stuff for the mystery boxes. If you want to order a mystery box, if you could order it through, well, the best thing for everybody is go to the OK Whatever magazine website and order it through there, because that's good for them and good for me. I don't lose any money if you order it through them. It just drives more people to their website, so they'll appreciate that. Otherwise, it's still on my website if you're thinking of getting other things with it. But on my website, you will get charged some element of postage, but that'll be included. You'll get something to the value, including the postage you pay. You'll get the postage cost plus the whatever's you've paid. You'll get items to that value. So that still works, still fair. If anything, you get a slightly better one from my website, but there's like a quid in it, £2 in it. So I mean, not huge difference really. I haven't really got any mad thoughts, you know. I wonder if you've thought anything yesterday about when I said about the lock and key, keeping things under lock and key. Maybe it's about keeping things underwater and hidden, rather than keeping things, you know, sealed and under a padlock and hidden away, secretive. Because locks are like Loch Ness, and the Loch Ness though, potentially the Loch Ness where the Loch Ness monster isn't actually like a giant dinosaur. Supposedly it could actually be these like the Seven Kings of Hell or something, a doorway to release them, that Aleister Crowley was apparently working on for a while. Apparently he bought like a shed there and was sitting there doing spells and incantations out towards the water, which is mad. That's something to look into if you want to look up stuff like that. I love stuff like that, to be fair. I love stuff about like the occult and that. I don't know if I believe in it, but I wouldn't say that I do. I just find it fascinating. I find it fun to learn about the lore of something. Like I'm playing Skyrim again at the minute in the evenings, and you know all the books you find on the shelves on that. If you've ever played it, if you've never played it, you find books on shelves, and they've got like the developers of the game, the writers of the game, the workers of the game. They fucking took the time out to actually write whole stories and whole books, man. And I sit there and read them all because it adds to the lore of it. And I like that. I like learning that with religions and with weird beliefs, like the cults and what cults believe and what cults teach, or what religions teach. Like I went to Catholic school, innit, so I learnt about all the like Catholicism and that, and maybe we did a little bit on other religions, but not all that much. It was very much focused on Roman Catholics and Catholicism. But learning all about the dogma of things and the rules behind it and why people think that way, I find that fascinating. So when you go into the occult, and then the occult has actually got genuine reasons, because it's not like a religion, so it's be more, when I say genuine, it's not like, oh, because God says. They'll be like, oh yeah, what you should do is you should write what you want on a wall, and then stare at that and keep screaming that out while you're masturbating, and stare at the thing on the wall, the sigil. I'm simplifying this a lot, and it's only information that I've gleaned from other sources. I'm not really in it. I don't read about it properly. I just read bits and that, whatever I find interesting. But like you stare at that and like fucking masturbate and stare at that, and it's supposed to cause some power and make it happen from the sigil or the logo, and then you could look into like other big businesses' logos and that, and you could see them as sigils and their magic things, because they're not actually a word or anything, but we all know what that means. We know what that signal is, and that means that, oh, there's food there, and this is this, and that's been successful. And then you can look into is there a reason why that's been more successful, why that franchise is more successful than this franchise, why this one's global, and this one's only national. Excuse me. And that could be because of like occultism and magic. I doubt it. It's probably just because they make a better burger or make a better sandwich, but or they got better business sense and they're happier to spread it around and not charge like 500 grand for the franchise to someone who's only ever worked, you know, a fucking management job somewhere, and they don't really have 500 grand sitting by, so not many people can afford to franchise it out or buy the franchise for themselves. But what if it is to do with occultism and mysticism? What if, you know, having certain symbols, like supposedly like, you know, I'm not going to name any because I'm too scared to, but certain symbols and certain logos of companies and of products have sexual things where it looks like one thing going into the hole of another, or things look like boobs and things like that. Is that a good way to to sell? Does it get into the brain? Why does it get into the brain? I love all shit like that. Obviously, it's probably all nonsense. It's just one person's gone, oh, this worked once. I bet it's because of this. Just like the occultism, the magic thing. I bet the guy that was staring at the little writing on the wall and wanking at it and screaming about it, that's because he's linking all the endorphins in his brain to that one word. So he's going to be focused on it. You know, that's going to be the thing you're thinking about a lot. And then you probably spend the rest of the day as well thinking, bit weird that I spent the day wanking to a BLT recipe. I mean, I know I want to make the best bacon, lettuce and tomato sandwich out there and start the franchise up and, you know, make it an international business, but did I really need to masturbate over the lettuce and tomato being on the bacon? Probably not. But then maybe they did because they focused on it, they took the extra time out in the day to think about it. Just, I don't know, I think it's interesting. I mean, it's probably all nonsense, but anyway, let us know what you think below. I'm going to be sorting stuff out for mystery boxes today, so you know, give us a shout. We'll have a look on my page as well. I found a news story that I think was pretty good. It was about body farms, which isn't like growing an arm out of the ground like the fucking end of Nightmare on Elm Street. It's you get the people that have died, you then dump them in a field, and then scientists can watch them with a clipboard and that and take notes, which is actually something that my mum wants. So it was nice to read about that and learn about that. So she doesn't want to be burnt by a priest or shoved in hole by a vicar or whatever. She wants to be thrown in a field or stapled, nailed to a tree and left to rot so that crows can eat her. Which is kind of weird, but it was nice to learn a bit about it. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll see you in a bit.